Good morning. I am starting the second Q&A for our Survive and Thrive while working at home program. So I'll just wait here for a bit to see who jumps on. I've got some cool music that I'm hoping you'll enjoy, which will lift your mood. Very inspired by April Franks, who's been one of my career coaches over the last 8 months or so. She's amazing. I've put a link up for her stuff in the Survive and Thrive page on Facebook. So it's worth checking out because she's offering a membership to her program for $1 for 90 days. And definitely if you are running a business, then she'll be worth checking out. I can't tell yet whether anyone's on. Let's have a look. Oh. Hey Morgan. Alright, looks like we are in business. Let me open this again. Alright, so let me know how you're all going, because I think we've seen these memes saying it's day 3 of quarantine or day 3 of homeschooling my kids. Can I change their teachers and stuff like that? So people are starting to be like, let me know how you're going with everything. I have a few things that I want to talk to you about today. One of them is about the Fair Work Ombudsman website. So I've put a link up for that in the Facebook group as well already. Please check that out if you're concerned about the situation with your work at the moment. And I said in yesterday's live that I'll be listening into a Business Chicks session with a person qualified in employment law. So if you've got any questions about that as well, I might be able to take that to them this week and just make sure that you're getting looked after the best that you possibly can be at the moment. Just trying to see if I can find that link that I set up for the Fair Work Ombudsman, because I can talk a little bit more about that. Hey Holly, help! Hope you're having a good weekend. And I've lost track of where you're at with your work and if you've still got the shop. But let me know, and hopefully you're not too isolated at the moment. What is this next song I've put on? Let me put on another uplifting one or something cool. All right. Okay, so if anyone's got any questions or thoughts on working from home, or there's anything that you're finding particularly challenging, let me know and we can start with that. But otherwise, I might start talking to you about what I've read and what I've learned about dealing with uncertainty. And I know that, actually I might turn this off now so I can concentrate on this conversation because it's important. No shop, no job. Okay, all right, well it's good that you're feeling good in yourself. I think a lot of people are dealing with loss of work, loss of income, uncertainty about what's coming next and all that sort of stuff. And a lot of what I'm going to talk to you about and everyone else about today is so similar to what Tara's worked with us on, about like what do we want the end outcome to be and how do we get through all that kind of stuff. Man, we've been lucky to have that kind of support, and now we can share it with everybody else. And things will be okay. It's just we're all flying by the seat of our pants a little bit at the moment. So what I was doing, I found a good post from it was an article in the Huffington Post, about dealing with uncertainty, and it really touched on a lot of the stuff that Tara Darlington had run through with me and other members of our business incubator group that I was a part of last year, which Holly was part of. And so I want to acknowledge that Tara's been doing a lot of this kind of work anyway, and the principles are really widely available, so it's nothing new that I'm going to talk about, but I just think it's worth visiting with everybody because a lot of people are a bit tense at the moment. You get distracted very easily to do things around the house or just feel comfortable in the house. Yeah. A lot of people are saying, or a few people have commented to me that time management is their biggest challenge because they get distracted, or they don't know how to, or not sure about how rigid to be with breaks and how strict to be. Let me just defer to that question first, Holly, because I read something really useful about it, which I think I've posted as well, but about being kind of goal-oriented rather than looking at the clock. So if you set yourself a task, then you make sure that you get that done and not worry about what the time is. Like if it only takes you a short amount of time, that's good. So it's kind of more about making sure you get your jobs done rather than trying to work to the set hours that you think your work day should be, if that makes sense. So it's kind of a little bit of a flick. So it's okay to get distracted by other stuff, and you don't need to beat yourself up about it because you've got to keep the household going as well. Another approach that I heard from someone was just like, think through the essential things that need to be done in your household to keep it functional each day, and then figure out what the best time of day to do each one is. So this is really basic stuff, but for me, that means that in the morning, all the washing goes on. And lately, I've had to do loads at night because Eamon's toilet training. So I put that on in the evening. I put on a load in the dryer if he needs fresh underpants for the next day at childcare. He is going to totally sue me at the end when he's older. I'm talking about this stuff probably, but oh well. So yeah, those basic household things, and then at the end of the day, I always make sure that the dishes are done as much as possible, so that the next day I start afresh. And I don't always get it done. It's definitely not always perfect, but at least that kind of methodical approach is there, so that you have a baseline that you can work to, and it's not so bad that you have it piles up. Yeah. So that would be what I suggest, is just try and contain those household jobs to certain times of day, and then put them out of the way. If there's something that doesn't need urgently doing, and you know that you've got jobs to do for work or to try and increase your income, then you've got to prioritize those income revenue earning tasks. There's no way to sugarcoat that one, especially at the moment. So that would be my advice there. But keep the cups of tea going, because that's okay. And it's important to have breaks where you just kind of take a breath, give yourself time to think and imagine and feel your way into what you're doing, and don't feel like you have to keep churning out stuff to show how productive you are. I mean, these are kind of like work tactics anyway, to stay okay and mindful at work. So when I've been the most stressed with work, I'll make sure I make a cup of tea and go outside and get some fresh air in the garden, because that's been just the place where I can look at whatever's going on in the garden. There's always something new out there, and then I just feel a bit better. Like my mind's been taken off at, I'll go and smash out an exercise session. It's also been the best way for me. And I know other people will go and do some meditation or whatever. So, I think still factor in all that sort of stuff. You don't need to sit at the computer like a drone and keep chugging away. So hopefully that gives you some support. and reinforcement to know that you're not alone, because it's so easy to be like, oh, that I haven't dusted that surface for about 6 months, so I better go do that. But having said that, last night I did like a major overhaul of this place. Tea and garden, yeah, I know it's been good. Did major overhaul here last night, and the place is the cleanest it's been in I don't know how long. I put on my favourite music and I just was singing up a storm because no one was home, and I was able to really make big tracks with the place, and it's been driving me so nuts, like just having all the shoes cluttered at the bottom of the staircase. It annoys me every time I walk past, and I walk past it 50 times a day, so I actually dealt with that yesterday. So, not just letting the frustration build up, but actually actively doing something about it. I've had the blessing of the boys being out this weekend, so I've had the time, and because I'm not as exhausted because Eamon's sleeping better at last, I can do it too, so I've got a bit more energy. But man, anyway, so dealing with uncertainty, the first step that the Huffington Post article said was letting go. So for a lot of us, and I know I was definitely like this. You've got to just learn that you can't control everything and be open to change. Oh, you had a big dance in the car. Yes, so good. I think we need to exchange notes on soundtracks for mood-lifting music, because I'm going to make a music playlist to share as well. Okay, so yeah, can't control everything. Be open to change. Uncertainty is frustrating, difficult, all of those things, but it's just how it is right now for so many of us. I mean, it is like this normally, but it's just exacerbated at the moment and amplified. So what my Uncle Ivan told me when I was I don't know, in my late 20s, I think it was, he's just like, you can only worry about the things that you can control. The rest of it you just have to let go of. And I think that's advice that I keep coming back to. And I think I've learnt it more since the boys arrived, that I really can't control anything anymore. I mean, you can control some stuff, but so much of the day is way, 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 way out of my control. So steep learning curve, but yeah, so just let go of what you can, let it go. And I know if it was Tara, she'd be like, take a deep breath and let it out. The next thing is to envisage the best. So set intentions of where you want to go. This is all really tapping into the types of coaching that we've been doing. So think about positive directions that you want to go in. What would be your dream outcome for the situation that you're in? So, you don't have the shop anymore whole and no job, but maybe now's the time to sit down and think, what do you actually really want to do, and how do you get there? So what's your next best step, which is what Tara was going on about at the Women's Leadership Symposium and keeps drawing us back to all the time. It's like, okay, so this is your dream, then take the steps to get there. Like, don't think too far in advance that you have to think each step through. Just think about what is your one next step to get there, and then take it one step at a time. So yeah, I don't know how that works, but that kind of energy setting is really, I've seen it work so many times now, and it's been amazing. Okay, so the next bit was reflect. So like I said, we've all been through this kind of uncertainty at some stage in some form or another before. So think about what helped then. Maybe it was that you went on a cleaning spree like what I did last night, and you just clean the crap out of everything, and you declutter and you Marie Kondo your house. So you will keep anything that gives you joy, and anything else can just go to hell. So do all that sort of stuff. Yeah, so cleaning's been really good for me. Listening to favorite music, doing creative stuff. I'm going to put up a link to Kicking the Creatives because they were the best group of people to connect in with when I was feeling really exhausted and worn out last year. So they do set tasks for each day, like a theme, and each month they have a creative task, and it really can take any shape that you want. And then you share whatever you do with the group if you feel comfortable to do it. And everyone's so supportive and beautiful. So it's a good way to connect in with a group of creative people who are very supportive, and also like the leaders of it, Sandra and Tara, they run a YouTube channel, and they just are really amazing leaders because they're funny, but they're also just really conscious of trying to keep people on track or give them a bit of structure, which can also be really good at the moment, because if you feel like you're flapping around, it's nice to go, okay, so I might not have work, or I might not have my usual jobs that I want to do, but I do have this creative goal that I can work towards today, and by the end of the day I'll have this product, which you can do whatever you like with. You can put it up on your Instagram or your Facebook, or share it with family, or make something for someone that you care about, and all that sort of thing. So I would definitely encourage everyone to get in on the creative side of things at the moment. Bula Tarisi, Yandra. So I'm just talking about ways to deal with the uncertainty at the moment, and push through with any anxiety that people are feeling. Aloha. I really wish I was near a palm tree at the moment. I was dreaming about the ocean this morning, and the waves. That's why I put up a image with the beach at Wollongong from when I was up there for a conference a couple of years ago. I just thought it was a nice morning shot, get some serenity in before we get started for the day. Okay, so yeah, reflect on times when you've been in this position before, and then how you got through it and what really helped. And just know also that you did come out the other side of it, because you're still kicking along. So yeah, we will all get through this one way or another. We might all feel crap for a while if we get corona, but there's always and we might lose people that we care about, and that will be the hardest part. But the more we can pull together as a community now, the better it'll be, and just realize that we can do it. Okay, so also the next thing that this article said was to avoid avoidance. So when we're all feeling anxious, sometimes you might go into fight or flight mode, and you'll know yourself what your tendency is to do. But when your anxiety is at its peak, you can be just completely paralyzed. So you don't even fight or flight anymore. You just can't move. So what this article said, which I'll post up later, is if you know that you tend to avoid dealing with the future, remind yourself that although dealing with uncertainty is hard, there are consequences for not facing it head on. And I think that's pretty helpful. So going back to that last few points, picture what you want the end outcome to be, or where you would like to be at the end of this, and how you'd like to feel, more importantly, and what you'd like to have going on, and then think about what steps that you can take, that you can control, to get yourself to that point. So be proactive in that process, because you do have control over some stuff still, even if it doesn't feel like it. So in that way, like, it's worth turning off the TV for a bit, letting go of social media, going back to your favorite music, and just thinking about who you are and what makes you happy and what's going to help you move through this the best way for you, and to nourish yourself in that way, so that you can keep moving rather than staying stagnant or stuck or paralyzed. Okay, so finally, the last point is to think about the possibilities. And I have kind of said this too, like think about where you could be at the end of all this. And it might be an opportunity for you to go back to a more creative part of yourself that you pushed away while you've been working in a bank or working in a space that doesn't let you tap into that outlet. Or it could let you do some exercise from home that you've been putting off. So there's great online programs. I've lost track of the number of times I've done Michelle Bridges' program. That's really good if you want to be kind of dictated to a little bit. If you're looking for a bit more of a like gentle, supportive, positive approach, the TIFXO program is really good. I've just got 3 months free with the Chris Hemsworth one from my gym because they're trying to encourage us all to stay home. So I'll let you know how that goes. I'm going to miss my PT if I can't see her. She's just so much fun. But, you know, these are things we'll get through as well. One of the things I can help you with much more directly is if you want to do some writing and publish something. I've got a lot of experience in that. So if that's something that you want to do during this time and you want to put your head down and get on with a writing project, I'm very happy to edit work and help you figure out strategies for publication. So even if it's just on a blog, if you want to set up a website for yourself, I can do that with you. There's all these kinds of avenues. I'm trying to finish my second book. I've got a lot of the manuscript drafted. Jonathan Ritchie is going to probably knock me out if I don't finish that soon, but I've had babies in the process of writing it and it's just taken a lot longer than anticipated. So if I get my act together this year or make it more of a priority, then I'll do it, but it's difficult when it's not paid work. So again, it really depends on where you're at, what your immediate responsibilities are. If you're trying to think of ways to build up your income during this time, that's also something I can help you with because I've been researching for a while different ways to bolster your income. Yes, Holly, I would love to do that. Yeah, I'll definitely be able to help you start up with blogging and that sort of thing for sure. And I want to hear more of your podcast too, by the way. What was I saying? Oh yeah, business. So there's things like drop shipping's kind of dropped off because we're all dependent on factories being operational rather than on skeleton staff, and that's tricky. But there are other things that you can do. So you might come up with a really good idea while you're sitting around at home. And if that's the case, then yeah, you can see this time as an opportunity. Okay, so what I want you to do today, if you want a challenge, I want you to think about where you want to go, what your big dream is, and what is the next step, just one step that you can take today to get you to that point. Okay. All right, and I know that there are people setting up their home offices. I would love to see how everyone set them up. I'm so lucky that I had Dee set this up with me remotely. So she was based in Sydney, and then she's like, Kirsty, you need a more professional space to work from because my shelves are all falling down and the books were everywhere. It was a real mess. So this is much better. So yeah, if you're needing, I don't know, it's just nice to share this sort of thing. And I posted some of my old crazy workspaces yesterday too, which I'm sure, I really think if you've got a laptop on an ironing board, then it's kind of like a standing desk because you're not bending over so far. And if you're carrying a baby in a carrier, then you're kind of doing the right thing because you're not trying to squish their legs. So you just, I don't know. I thought it was quite a genius move myself at the time when I set up that space, but yeah, we'll see. All right, so yeah, send in your photos of your workspaces if you're working from home. I know that there are a lot of healthcare professionals who are working still who definitely are not going to be working from home. most of my family members are healthcare workers, and I'm thinking of all of you as well. I just want you to know that there's just a lot of people who are very grateful to you guys at the moment for showing up and putting yourselves at the front line. Can't say how grateful I am enough. There was one more thing I was thinking of that we could all do together today too, but now I have forgotten what it is. Anyway, I'll post it up later. What I'm going to do is at the end of these sessions, I've put up a transcribed version into the Thinkific subscription space yesterday. So what I'll do is I'll do that today, but then this week, I'm not sure which day, this week I'm going to move these Q&As into that paid space because, well, you know, I'm running a business. So it's only $1 a month, but if you want to continue joining into this community through this time and beyond, then yeah, that's all you need to pay, $1 a month. It's not going to be that cheap forever. I'm going to increase the rates, but the things that are coming up this week, I'm going to sit in on a session on work rights and employment law through one of the business networks that I'm a part of, and I'll be able to feed some of that back into you guys. So if you're uncertain about that and you have any questions, let me know. If you've got any questions about finances or like financial security, there are heaps of great resources around, all of which I've looked up. I love research. So if there's something that you are wanting to know answers to that you don't really have time or energy or whatever to throw at, let me know and I'll do some of the groundwork for you because I can do that today. I think that's it from me for now, but I hope you all are okay and doing the best that you can, and I hope that this has been helpful conversation. Like I said, these are all ideas that are floating around, and I've had some work-related discussions around, you know, copyright legislation and all that sort of stuff too, but I always want to acknowledge that these are ideas that I have been inspired by that others have shared with me. And thanks, Tarisi. Yeah, it's good to share. I think the more we can all collaborate at the moment, the better. But I've been so lucky to work with mentors like Tara and April, just to name a few. And so it's really nice for me to be able to pay it forward to whoever else wants to hear that now, who's stuck in this space and wants to talk about it. So have a great Sunday. I'm going to try and have this cup of tea. I think it might be a little bit cold by now, but I can zap it in the microwave, thankfully. And yeah, I've got to figure out what to do with my day too now. All right. I'll see you all soon. Oh yeah, so I'll have another one of these sessions tomorrow morning. I think I might start doing them in the paid area on Wednesday. So I'll see you tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Bye.